beautiful people. Today I am coming to you with a story time. I figured this is something that I could start because I have a lot of stories. I've kind of gone through a lot of interesting situations and scenarios, and I just thought it would be kind of amusing to share some of those with you. So I guess without further ado, I'm gonna start story time. So today is gonna be about that one time I thought I had some ghost spirit upstairs in my parents' house when I was living there. So this was about, I would say, this was about 3 years ago, which is, it was about 3 years ago. So I was at home. I had a job that I worked kind of lengthy hours, like 12 to 14 hours ish a shift. And so this is one of those nights I got home pretty late, and usually with the crazy hours I would literally wake up before the sun comes up, work all day, come home, it's already dark, and just have enough time to eat. I would squeeze in a game or two because games were life, games are life. But yeah, I didn't get a lot of that in at that time, so I just basically took a shower and went to sleep. So but this night in particular, I decided it would be kind of fun to stay up and play a game for a little while. So it was pretty ridiculously late in terms of someone who has to be up at like 4 in the morning and it's midnight and you're still awake playing a game. So it was definitely my fault, but you know. My life decisions. Anyway, yeah, so I was laying in bed on my phone, just kind of scrolling through Instagram, probably, whatever, just looking at stupid stuff to kind of get myself sleepy so I can fall asleep. And halfway through that I kind of got really bored, so I was like, I'll just, you know, actually put the phone down and go to sleep so I can, you know, get some rest. Well, the way my bedroom is laid out at my parents' house, my bed was against the wall. It's like, let's say, this is garbage. I should have planned this out a little better. All right, imagine with me right now, okay? Imagination insert right now. So let's say this is my room, okay? Yeah, looking at like an aerial view. So this is the wall where my bed is on. My bed is kind of coming out this way, and here's a door. This door leads to a game room, and this is like the game room. There's a staircase here. So I'm laying in bed, so change from aerial view to like straight because I'm difficult like that. I'm in bed, and let's say I'm looking out, and out is the doorway. Through the doorway I see the game room and I see the staircase that leads downstairs. So I am afraid of the dark. I'm a grown adult, and I will admit, okay, I'm not afraid of the dark, but I prefer to be around light at any given time. So we have like a staircase light or stairway, a light above the stairs, and I would usually just have that on, and that would be like the only thing I have on upstairs, just because, you know, comfort. I am afraid of the dark. And so this night in particular, I had forgotten to turn it on. So I was like, whatever, it's like 1 o'clock. I need to be sleeping anyway. I don't have to worry about that. Like, just, you know, get on with my life. Well, it bothered me. So I went up, turned the light on. I went to go lay back down. And as I did, I look out and my dad is standing at the top of the steps. And I'm just like, what are you doing awake, sir? It is 1 in the morning. You should have been asleep like 3 hours ago. What's going on? But he's just standing there, and he's like, he has his iPad in his hand, and he's just kind of looking at it. And I'm like, what's going on? But it's like he wasn't facing me. So like, let's picture this for a second. Let's say, viewer, you are me. In your line of sight, I am my father. So he's kind of facing the like reclining chairs. He's kind of facing those, but has his iPad in his hand. He's like looking down at it. It's dark in the game room, all except for the light emitting from his iPad. So I'm just like, maybe he's like looking for something. I don't know, whatever you could do at 1 in the morning that requires you to stare at furniture in the dark with an iPad in your hand. I don't know. I was a little delusional because I was probably sleep deprived as usual. So I'm laying in bed and I'm like, Dad, what? Peach, it's okay. Go back to sleep. A warm, cozy cocoon. So I'm laying in bed and I have the blanket up like this. So I'm just like, why are you awake, Dad? Peach, what are you doing? Why are you active? You're scaring me. Go back to sleep. That's fine too. Yep. Whatever floats your boat. So anyway, I'm laying in bed with the blankets up and I'm just like, what's going on, Dad? What are you doing? And I'm looking at him. He doesn't acknowledge me being awake. Usually he's like, go to bed. Well, so I'm just like, Dad. And still no response, no movement. He's just frozen. Look, I don't have time for this. What's going on? My heart. Okay. So anyway, yeah, so I'm like, hey, Dad, and no response. He's not looking at me, no eye contact. He's just frozen, staring at his iPad. And I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure I was loud, but let me get a little louder. It's like, Dad, still no response. By this point, my heart is beating in my throat. I'm like terrified, like what's going on? Am I losing my mind? So I scream, I'm like, Dad! And from downstairs, I hear my dad, what? I'm just like, I burst into tears. I was like, it was the scariest thing I have ever dealt with